Women who want men who act like women. We got to talk about it.
I was just patient, never try skating. Fuck niggas hating.
Absolutely not. There's a pocket of women that exist that are still attached with traditional moral values, and they want a masculine man, and they desire it. They want to submit to a man. They want to be a helpmate to a man. They want to find a man who has power, who exudes dominance, who knows who he is, who's on the path of not only righteousness but success. And they want to follow his lead, and they want to help him where he needs help. And they know their roles. Yeah, I believe those women exist. If you're the type of man who don't believe they exist, watching my videos won't do nothing for you. Because I don't promote quitting. I don't promote giving up. That's not the nature of my content. If I didn't believe these type of women exist, I wouldn't even be here talking to you. All my videos will be red pill community. I would tell you, oh man, have multiple women. Never trust the women. Oh, ignore these women. I don't do none of that in none of my videos because that's not what I believe works. Okay? I believe that the people that God put here on earth that are meant to find each other, they exist. But I feel like you won't find them unless you are in alignment with your purpose and you are self-aware. And because think about it. If you were God and you had a seed or a child that was worthy of love, the true definition, worthy of respect, commitment, someone being faithful to them, respect. Well, I said respect twice because it must be important to me. But if you had a child that was worthy of all these good things, you wouldn't want them to be in the hands or the care of somebody who didn't exude these qualities. And so one might argue and say, oh, then why God let people get hurt every day? Sometimes your pain can be turned into lessons. I always say if you take an L, put the essence at the end of it. Bar. Lesson. Okay? Life is a lesson. A L with the essence. Because we sometimes have to go through hardship in order to learn things, in order to sharpen our skills and our ability to be better and to catch on. Nothing comes with ease. If it came with ease, you'd feel entitled. You'd feel entitled to it. You'd think that it belonged to you, even though you didn't do the work to earn it. Sounds like a modern woman, right? In this video, I want to break down what you'll see when you're dealing with a woman who is looking for a man who exudes female-like qualities. Not all of them are aware of this. If you ask a woman who doesn't date women, does she want a feminine man? She's going to tell you no. At the same time, when you exude masculine traits, it creates confrontation with this woman. So I want to address it because this can be confusing. Let's talk about it, man. Now, in order for you to, or if you ever decide to forsake who you are as a man, or forsake, denounce, turn away from, abandon who you are as a man and your role in this world, okay? She can better identify with you because you become more feminine and she's already feminine by nature. Her actions don't show femininity, but by nature, she's a woman. So she identifies with it already psychologically. I don't care what she identifies as. Okay? She can identify as a woman with femininity. Okay? There's things about her body, her mind that are organically, they were already predetermined, and she has no role in determining her gender. I digress. I'm gonna jump off of that. She can identify with femininity as a woman, okay, and she can identify with your actions and your emotions, and not to justify her behavior, but that makes sense to me as to why she would look for that in another person. It gives her a little bit more sense of stability and maybe a little bit more ability to have control or to know how to control. I'm finna digress again because I know me. I can get off track. Let me get back on track right here. I'm jumping right into it. Number one, what she wants. A woman who wants a man who acts like a woman. What she wants, number one, she wants a man who is emotionally expressive. As soon as us dominant masculine men hear this, we think beta. We think weak. We think soft. We think secondary. We think, we just think like, that's not me. Okay. And the thing about it is, all of us have a portion of beta in us. And second thing I want to say is that if you're going to call something beta, make sure you're not calling a man beta, in a judgmental sense. Because if you look up what beta actually means, there's nothing negative. Beta actually is clear of all negative. Like, beta is pure. Beta is all things good. But in modern culture, we seem to look at things that are all good as bad, as what you shouldn't do because it doesn't work. And the reason why we think that it doesn't work is because we're living in hell. And beta isn't the ruler of hell. I'm about to digress again. That's a whole nother video. If we're living in hell, beta tendencies do not work. Beta tendencies get you manipulated, played. Ooh, I can go deep. You get overlooked. Beta means weak, no good. You trash that. But when a woman is looking for a man who is emotionally expressive, she's looking for that Prince Charming. Even though Prince Charming, by some people's definition, was strong, masculine, but Prince Charming in other people's perception might be somebody who is compassionate, somebody who is non-combative, somebody who is, I gotta say it, a yes man, who puts a woman before himself. And when you look at videos that got Prince Charming, he's always the masculine one. So again, we're in a reality where reality is skewed to some people. They have their own perception. I got another video I'm going to do where I'm going to break down the difference between right and wrong. And that's going to be a conflict. I already know that because right and wrong, people think it's subjective, but really it's not. It's based on principles. Moving forward. So number one is she's looking for a man who's emotionally expressive. Therefore, he might be or have a lot more traits that are beta about him. Number two, a submissive man. A man who is okay with making sure she has everything she needs instead of himself or before himself. He is living a sacrificial lifestyle. Okay. And through his ability to live a sacrificial lifestyle, he might be a little bit beta because he feels like he wants to see somebody else smile, even if he doesn't feel fulfilled. He gets his fulfillment, so he thinks, through watching someone else be fulfilled. And he plays that role of being the one who fulfills them. And so I'm going to stop right there because no man has the ability to fulfill a woman. We don't. A woman has to already have the capabilities of fulfilling herself. She should already be able to fulfill herself. So it's like you can't make a woman happy. There's nothing you can do. You think, again, this is a skewed sense of reality. You think that you can make a woman happy. You can't. It's best to find a woman who has the ability to make herself happy. And then when you come along, you add to happiness versus it being all on you. If it's all on you, you're going to fail every time because you have your own set of needs, desires, goals. But for a woman who is looking for a man who's submissive, your own set of needs, want, and goals do not mean anything to this woman. I'm going to touch on that a little bit more later, but I'm going to move on to number 3. That a woman who wants a man who acts like a woman wants. This is finna get deep. Number 3, a woman who wants a man who acts like a woman is looking for a helpmate. Some people say helpmeet. I'm going to stick to the way I think and where I speak. A helpmate. And a helpmate is naturally the role of a woman, even in the biblical sense. Okay? Even in the spiritual sense. But a woman who wants a man who acts like a woman is looking for him to be a helpmate to her. Cringeworthy, isn't it? Okay. So she is thinking that you should be bettering her. You should be doing things that make her more powerful, her more solidified, her more accomplished. It's not about you. It's like she's spinning the narrative and spinning the roles, and she's spent the tables, and she said, "I'm going to be the man in this situation here." Okay, she doesn't believe in being secondary. She doesn't believe that she needs to help anybody do anything. Matter of fact, the thought of helping a man gives her the ick. Help you? She doesn't believe in that. She can't have a man of any caliber. She can't have a man in his early stages of development because he isn't all the way a man, or he isn't all the way accomplished, or has achieved anything. So she's like, I'm not going to help you get there. That's not my job to help you get. The key word here being help. She doesn't believe in helping any man. So she wants, if she does date a man, and if she does deem a man worthy of her being in a more submissive position, she wants a man who is fully established. And by looking for a man who is fully established, this implies that he has to be in a position in life where there is no denying the fact that she'd have to submit to him. There's nothing she can do to dominate over him. And because of those circumstances, those are the only reasons why she would back off and be submissive. Number 4, she's looking for you to be interdependent. Your independence is obsolete to her. And by obsolete, I mean it holds no value. It serves her no purpose. You having your own anything, car, place, home, business, money, that doesn't do anything for her. That doesn't add equal value to her. She needs somebody who is dependent on her. She needs to be the one in a more dominant position in that relationship in order for it to thrive. That doesn't work for no man. Even if you're the type of man who You feel like she has values, and sometimes she allows you to have authority over a certain situation. At the end of the day, when this dominant part of her starts to shine and flourish in your relationship, you feel it. It cringes. You become cringe, and you like, I don't like this. It doesn't work for you. And you want to eliminate that part in her. I'll get to that later. I'm finna touch on some stuff right here. Number 5, she wants you to place her on a pedestal. If you ask a woman directly, do you want me to worship you? Do you want me to praise you and put you on a pedestal? She's going to say no. She's going to only respond when you speak to her as if she's the boss. When you ask her what she wants, when you are like that, the one in Coming to America where, you know, Prince Hakeem was almost subject to a arranged marriage, and he pulled the woman aside. He says, "What kind of music do you like?" And she said, whatever type of music you like." You are going to be her. As a man, you are going to be the woman who pretty much asks your woman, "What do you want to listen to? What do you want to eat? Where do you want to go? Where do you want to live? What do you want to do?" And she responds well to that kind of treatment. And she doesn't think that you are being feminine by being fully submissive and waiting for her to dictate you guys' next move. You are in the passenger seat. She is driving your relationship wherever it goes. She's the one steering, pressing the gas and the brakes. Number 5, she automatically assumes a position of power. This wasn't up for debate. There wasn't a conversation. Once she has realized that you are a very emotionally expressive person, you exude a lot of beta-like tendencies, you're a submissive man, she said, "Okay, cool. I can work with this. I don't have to argue with anybody. There's not going to be a power struggle," so she thinks. "And I can just do what I want to do and have him help me. I'm smart enough to get this done without a man. I just want a man. I don't need a man. I want a man. I don't need a man. I want a man." That's perfectly fine. I had to say it a couple of times because I wanted to drill that one in because we all heard that before, right? The point I'm trying to make here is that she wants you. She's going to go throughout life and think that she has all abilities to build her own existence. She's going to do everything. She's going to pick up and do everything that a man does. And then she expects you to come in and make sure dinner is ready. She expects you to come in and make sure that the kids are taken care of. You're supposed to be a sit-at-home husband. You're supposed to be the one that makes her life easier. You're supposed to be the one who makes sure that she has low levels of stress. hmm Her life is hard. You need to relieve her of her life stress and her existence. You need to make it easy for her to exist. What you got to deal with as a man, that's of no concern to her. She might even convince you that you don't have to deal with none of that. All I need you to do is take care of this and that. Sit down somewhere. Sit down. Make sure the clothes is clean. Make sure the house is clean. Make sure the kids are fed. This sounds funny, don't it? To me, it does. Number 7, she's outwardly dominant. She's upfront about it. She's always been that way before she met you. Maybe in the early stages, she might have done and said some stuff to make you think that she was going to be submissive. Maybe you fell for the her acting like she was okay with your decisions. But the thing is, in the early stages, when she was acting like she was okay with your decisions, the decision that you were making pleased her, benefited her. Yeah, she's okay with them. You didn't think about it like that. You were in your beta like tendencies, and she was able to get you to submit. And you thought, excuse me, by presenting an idea to her that benefited her, that you were making a decision or calling a shot. Bro, that's no different from if I say, you want to go to that restaurant you love, or you okay with going to one of my choosing? And she says, I want to go to the restaurant I love. You say, okay. And you think because it was your idea or because you are the one who proposed that idea that you are being dominant. Bro, you got some lessons to learn. I digress again. This is one trigger warning video right here. She's going to tell you, this has been me. She's going to talk to you in a condescending tone. She's going to make demands. Okay? She's going to let you know that I'm running the show here. What I say goes. And you're confused because you haven't educated yourself enough to know what's going on in your life. But this video right here is probably going to bring up a whole bunch of issues that you've been having. Number 8, she dates down. Date down? What does that mean, Jerome? Most women, I would even go as far as to say 80 to 90% of women date under the laws of hypergamy. Hypergamy is when a woman is always looking for the next best thing. And the reason why they're always looking for the next best thing is because not 80 to 90% again of women want to be taken care of. So if they want to be taken care of, that means that they are willing to take I had to laugh. They want to give you the illusion that they are willing to take a passenger seat to life. And they want to submit. Yeah, a lot of women are fake submissive. And they want to give you the illusion that they are willing to submit because they see that you're in a better position than them. Therefore, they want to be taken care of. They want to be underneath your umbrella of security, safely, financial, every kind of protection and provision that you can do. So she asks, whatever type of food you like. And then once she is fully secured and she secured you as her main source of supply, she can spread her thorns and her tentacles and her roots all around the situation. That's when you see men who are of high value, they get married, and then the woman divorced them and take, if not everything, at least 50% of what he possessed. Okay, so when you're dealing with a woman who is dating down, she is okay with dating a man who doesn't have more than her. And this is confusing because you might be thinking that this woman is willing to date down because she genuinely cares. She is willing to build you up. But what you'll notice, though, is that she'll never put you in a position of power over her. She'll never assist you to the point where you are in a elevated position in comparison to the position that she is in that relationship. This woman will let you stay with her, which that provides a place to stay. You are no longer homeless. You have a place to live. But that keeps her in a position of power. She'll give you a car that she has parked in the garage while she's driving another one that's newer and more, advanced. But that keeps her in the position of power. But to assist you with doing something for you that does not allow her to maintain the position of power, she's never going to do that. Absolutely not. Yeah. Number 9, I said this already, but she's demanding. This is when she gets to talking to you as if you are one of her children. And it's really, emasculating when you are dealing with a woman who is 10 plus 20 years younger than you talking to you like this. You're like, who the freak do you think you're talking to? You're talking to a woman who wants to date a man who acts or plays the role of a woman. I already touched on a lot of the things that come with that, so I'm going to leave that point alone. Lastly, number 10. This woman stays independent of you, but wants you to be codependent of her. This is when you're here. No, they ain't going to tell you this, but this is a phrase that comes along with something like that. What you have is ours. What I have is mine. That's the mind state behind that. Her place, her cars, her money. Your cars, your place, your money is ours. What's mine belongs to me. That's the mind state behind a woman who stays independent of you, but wants you to be codependent or interdependent on her. She wants your spoils, your benefits, your fruits need to be shared with me. What I'm building belongs to me, though. In closing, there's a couple of things I want to address that aren't character traits of a woman who is interested in dating a man who acts like a woman. This is number one, this is not always a manipulation tactic. It's unfortunately, there are women who were raised by women that have done this to their fathers. If their father wasn't around, they did this to their stepfathers. If they didn't have a stepfather, they watched their mother do this with every man that ever came in their life. So this is something that is learned. And she doesn't intentionally try to abuse men. It's just you're dealing with a woman who has been raised by a dominant woman. Therefore, that's the only way she knows how to go about life. That's the unfortunate reality. It can be a manipulation tactic, but it's not always a manipulation tactic. Number 2, sometimes taking your power back in these circumstances means becoming more self-sufficient, doing things independent of this woman, regardless. You're damned if you do, and you damned if you don't. How about you be damned if you do for yourself? Bar. You're damned if you do, and you damned if you don't. You should be damned if you do, but for yourself. Make yourself more self-sufficient. Regain your power in this situation by being more self-sufficient. Lastly, I'd say embrace who she is. She is showing you who she is. Men, we be thinking that we can change women. There is nothing that you can do to change this woman. Her mind is made up. She knows who she is. She has no intentions on changing. She cannot authentically change. In order to change this woman, you would have to go into her life, into her history, jump in some time machine, change who made her, change who raised her, change who her mother was, change who her father was, change her living circumstances. There's no way you can do that. Therefore, the type of woman that you are dealing with, you need to embrace it. You need to come to terms with, okay, this is her. And if that's something that you are not willing to tolerate, you have to remove yourself. You thinking that you're going to stay in this toxic, unhealthy, undesirable. Skip toxic and unhealthy, even though those things apply. Let's just call it undesirable, because as a man, we desire to be the more dominant one in our relationship. If you think that staying in this undesirable position in this relationship, that you going back and forth with this woman, arguing with this woman, and expressing how you feel about the circumstances is going to change her, you are going to max yourself out. You're going to get to a point where you don't have any more energy, and you're eventually going to end up in a position in a relationship where you just give up. Because you love her, you want her, you don't want nobody else to have her, you see value in her, and you're just gonna be like, whatever. Whatever you want, babe. Whatever. All right. Yeah. You can't hear nobody else's advice. You just fully submit. She's gonna beat you. She's gonna beat you. That's how dominant and submissiveness works. Dominant is dominant for a reason. It dominates. You will become dominated. You're eventually going to submit. Anybody, well, my wife don't want me to do this, man. My wife don't want me to do. I can't have that. My wife did. Yes, a relationship does have a lot of compromising, but it's only going to be a healthy, in my opinion, it's only going to be a healthy dynamic between a man and a woman if this man knows how to maintain the dominant role in the relationship. That should give you enough energy to go throughout your life and do what you got to do to maintain your role as a man. If that doesn't, and you ease up because you got some woman that's saying, it's okay, you don't have to do that, I'll take care of it, babe, and you get relaxed and you get complacent, then this is the outcome. She dominates the relationship and the balance is off. I didn't mean to offend anybody, but if this video has resonated with you, or if you like it, please give me a like, comment, and subscribe. If you're new to my channel, my name is Jerome, and this has been yet another episode of The Superb Word. Until next time, you guys, be safe. And 2 fingers.